Hello there, Cosplay Cafe customers. I'm Kelly, one of your baristas for the night, and we are here for a very special episode. It's Andrea's 20th anniversary. Technically, it was 2 weeks ago, but we're celebrating Andrea's 20th anniversary of cosplaying. And this co-host of mine has done so much in 20 years. I was a little scared to ask her to be friends because I'm like, okay, she's so talented. She's so amazing. Why would she want to be friends with me? And now she's my co-host and she brings so much to the show. And so it's my great honor to just celebrate her accomplishments and to share with you all everything she's been doing over the last 20 years. But first, I'm going to play the opening credits. All right, and I'm going to bring in Andrea. Hello, Andrea. How you doing
tonight? You just nearly made me cry with that introduction. So thank you.
I'm going to
so
make
much.
you cry before the episode's over. Sorry.
Okay, so let's not be too close on the makeup thing because y'all don't want to see black eyeliner running down my face. No, that was very sweet. I really appreciate it. Thank you. This has been something that means a lot to me over the last 20 years. It's kind of defined who I am a little bit. So yeah, it's a big chunk of my personality anymore.
Oh, I feel that. And yeah, you look gorgeous.
Thank you. Like I said, it was weird that I haven't worn a costume I've gotten pretty well known for. And then before you told me the theme off air, you said, so on the 20th, you're wearing Captain Marvel. And I'm like, okay. I was like, thank you. It's like, sure. I mean, this costume's been put through the ringer in the last 3 years. So.
But y'all, did I choose well or not? And Johnny says, hello, beautiful baristas. Happy 20th cosplay anniversary to Andrea. Hi, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny. And thank you for putting me on here with everyone else for taking that chance with me as well, Johnny. You've been a huge supporter, so I appreciate it.
Johnny's the best. We love him.
I told him he's one of my favorite feminists. What will we do without him?
Uh-huh. And welcome to Crealy. Crealy is joining us on audio only tonight because she has had a week.
the week of all weeks. Oh my gosh.
But you're here.
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, I was not going to miss your 20th anniversary episode. Kelly was like, are you sure you should even do the episode tonight? And then I was like, but I don't want to miss it. So,
well, I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you. I'm hoping my chair is not making too many noises. I'm very fidgety anyway, and it's weird. I'm on the spot. I'm getting interviewed by an Instagram tomorrow on a live tomorrow night. So I'm like 2 days in a row. I'm not the interviewer. It's a little weird.
I did not plan that well, or we did not.
Oh no, they actually asked me last week. So yeah, the House of Cosplay Instagram is going to be interviewing me next week or tomorrow night. So yeah.
That's amazing.
It's weird. I'm used to the one asking the questions, so it's a little strange.
Aw, Misty wants to make you cry. She's so very proud of her baby sister and in awe of your talent. Congratulations for following your dreams. Love you. Oh.
Okay. My big sister is also extremely talented. So I was so jealous because she could sew when we were younger. And I had so much trouble being left-handed trying to learn from mom. So I was actually extremely jealous of Misty growing up because she could and I couldn't. So if she's saying she's not talented, my sister is also extremely talented.
Talent runs in your family, like all of your
A little
siblings.
bit. A little bit. Yeah, all five of us. Hi, Ryan. Thank you.
Ryan says, happy 20th anniversary. He also says, you don't look a day over 30. Facts. Agreed.
Oh.
Well, as I said, I am not ashamed to tell people how old I actually am. I am 39, so I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. So yeah, May 5th exactly was my 20th anniversary of the first time I set foot on a con floor in costume at the Star Wars celebration. So, go big or go home, right?
Right?
We don't. Mom always said if you're gonna do something, don't do it half-assed, and kind of took that to heart.
You whole-assed it.
Yeah, whole, and then some. Or as my friends like to make the jokes when I used to wear the Victorian gowns, I didn't need a bustle pillow because of the butt. So they love me. They love me.
And speaking of Star Wars, you're a Pale Palpatine, aka Fred.
Yes.
Congrats, Andrea. Hi, Fred.
Another one of the friends of the show.
Oh, we love Fred.
We do love Fred.
Ryan wants to know where Curly is.
Crayley is
She's
hiding
Invisible
her
Woman.
disgusting wreck of a face outfit and podcasting area because it's been a really, really crazy, mostly bad week. So
No, I'm Crayley. You're just Invisible Woman tonight.
oh yeah, there we go. I'm Invisible Woman tonight. I'm cosplaying as Wonder Woman's jet.
The whole jet.
And you are doing a fantastic job. I can't see you anywhere.
Completely hidden.
So, Andrea, I'm going to start out with the first question we ask all our guests. How did you get into cosplay? You sort of touched on that.
Well, growing up, my family, my brother always says our biography is going to be called Poor, Bored, and Creative because there were 5 of us. Mom and Dad didn't have a whole lot of money. Mom made all of our Halloween costumes growing up. And I wish I could dig out the Mortal Kombat costume pictures if I could ever find them that she made for Scoot and Brad, because they were amazing when we were kids. And then Halloween was my dad's birthday. So it was always a big deal for us. And then in 2002, we were going to the Star Wars celebration because we're a big bunch of Star Wars nerds. It wasn't our first convention. We had done Wizard World a couple of times before that in Chicago, but it's the first time cosplaying. And we were like, well, we want to make costumes. And Mom and Dad are like, great, we're broke. Let's do this. And I actually made more of Scoot's costume than I did my own for that convention because he was Darth Maul. And I'm over there doing pin tucks in leather while Mom's making my Padme costume. So,
oh my God, you did not start yourself easy.
No, once again, Mom's saying if you're gonna do something, don't do it half-assed. So,
I mean, that's something we have in common because I think my first project that I sewed as an adult after I learned some very, very basic stuff in high school was 4-way stretch on 2-way stretch.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
it's what I have.
Look, I've started teaching some people to sew on stretch fabrics. I'm like, if you can do this, you can be able to handle anything. But we went to the Star Wars celebration. It was May 3rd through the 5th. And Mom drove us up to Indianapolis in my dad's truck. It wasn't even a full extended cab. It was one where you had to lean the seat up to get in the back seat. Dad stayed home and we went, and I didn't cosplay till the last day, and I was actually getting sick at the con. But I remember what cemented me wanting to cosplay forever was this little girl came running up to me, dragging her mom behind her, going, Mom, I want to take my picture with the queen. And I'm getting sick. I've tried so hard to look excited, and I'm like, my costume it's okay, but it's not the most amazing of all the handmade costumes I've seen this weekend. But oh my God, this is it. This is what I want to do. And here I am 20 years later now, still playing dress up like a little kid.
And making little kids happy.
Yes, I'm actually doing a tea party tomorrow before the interview. So,
oh my gosh, busy weekend.
Yeah, I have a 2 to 4 mother-daughter princess tea party and then an interview at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So are days off from work, except for me to put on a costume and be a nerd.
I like this joke from Fred. Darth Maul can be done on a budget. He's half off.
Oh, poor Darth Maul. For the last, what is it, 22 years now, poor Darth Maul in the bad cut in half jokes. Oh, Darth Maul is pretty awesome, though.
I think we can all agree on that. That's one thing
Oh, yeah.
we can agree on from the prequels.
We all loved Darth Maul.
Gone too soon.
He was pretty awesome.
R.I.P. Gone too soon.
He came back in the Clone Wars or whatever. Yeah. I'm a little behind on the animated stuff for Star Wars.
I like this. Who needs a JL or Avengers when we got a cafe crew? Love you, Ryan.
That's us.
And Derek says, sorry, I'm late. Nerda says, hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hello, Derek.
And I do love this. The first thing you ever made was a Barbie doll dress. Is that true?
Probably. We liked to make things for our Barbie dolls. Misty's 8 years older than me, but my big sister was still playing Barbie dolls with me because that's how awesome of a big sister she is. And so she would be making little things and I would just take scraps of whatever she and mom were working on. So can't say they were good, but they were made.
But it sparked your creativity early and...
Oh, yeah. Mom and dad definitely encouraged the creativity in all of us. There were Mortal Kombat action figure scenes that we built. Somehow our parents let us put real nails in the pit. So they trusted us, I guess. A bunch of like pre-teens and early teens putting nails to drop their action figures on. But we were always making something.
At least they're busy.
Yeah. We never hurt anybody, so not intentionally. There's a lot of wrestling that involved a lot of injuries. That's how another story about how the little brother broke his arm that mom and dad found out like when he was in his 20s, how he actually broke it. He was like 4.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't know that we were wrestling in the bedroom. Brad came up with a very convincing lie for a 4-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
And he's still the storyteller to this day.
So what was the lie?
That he actually had fallen off the bunk bed in his sleep and hit his arm wrong. It was a viable story because we had 2 bunk beds in the bedroom. And because I shared a room with all 3 of my brothers growing up, which is probably a big reason I'm into comics and all the stuff I am, because Misty did the horse stuff. So Brad refers to her as horse sister. And then I wanted to be like her. So I did all the horse stuff for a long time. And then I did all the comic stuff with the brothers. So yeah, that was Brad's story. And he stuck to it until he was like in his mid to late 20s when he broke the same arm again.
Oh my
They found out. Yeah. He's still a good storyteller to this day. He is the writer of the family, so.
He definitely is. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I could probably make an entire episode about the dumb stuff we did in our childhood and talk about my brothers all day because that's we're very close. We're a very, very close family.
Which is amazing. And yeah, I need to get back down there and meet the rest of your family at some point.
Yeah. You didn't. Kelly met Misty. Yeah, because Graylee met Misty when the tire busted on her car down here, the rental car. So she actually got to meet my sister randomly, and the brother-in-law and one of the nephews. So
Not the best way, but you know, it works.
It was the
Are they
best
happy?
way. They got me off the side of the road like 4 hours earlier than roadside assistance was going to.
That's true.
yeah, we'll keep them around. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly, show us your mug.
I don't have mine today.
Oh.
What is that? That's Cosplay Cafe merch, guys. You can get your own.
Mm-hmm.
On Redbubble.
You want to have a cup of coffee with us every day, or tea, or whatever you want to drink out of it.
Yep. If you go to linktree.com/cosplaycafepod, or is it Cosplay Cafe Podcast? I always forget.
It's one of those.
Let me check.
I'll check
We're gonna
it.
remember
You
someday.
guys keep the interview going. I'll check it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll remember it off the top of our heads someday. Someday.
I really should. Okay. But it is on our link tree. Crowley is going to fact check me. Let's talk about some of these pictures because we have 20 pictures in here for 20 years.
Do I have because I now am in this admin thing. Where do I see what you're going to show? Because I only see you, me, and Crowley right now.
Okay, so do you want to drive and show them?
No, because I don't know where they are because I haven't done this yet.
It's under brand.
Okay, there we are.
So tell me
sorry, guys, I haven't done the admin stuff before.
Okay, linktree.com/cosplaycafepodcast. Thank you, Crowley.
You're welcome. Everybody screenshot or whatever, because I'm moving that so we have more room to show beautiful Andrea's cosplays.
Oh, goodness. Y'all are going to make me have a really big head. It's hard enough to get all of my hair under these wigs as it is. I'm hiding hot pink hair now, y'all. It used to be blue. Now it's hot pink. So, but look, it's all under here somewhere.
Which is impressive knowing how long it is because it's like all the way down to your butt, isn't it?
Yeah, that was after a haircut. So, when I measured my hair before I did a haircut, it was like 42 centimeters from the hairline to the tips. And that was a little bit before the haircut. So yeah, there's a lot happening under this thing. Okay, there. Now I'm seeing things better.
Hi,
okay.
Hello.
Hold on. It went away, but okay. I can see what pictures these are in when I click them. Okay. Yep. Sorry. I'm a little scatterbrained on this so far, guys. This is actually one of my most recent costumes. This was my steampunk one that I wore to the Atlanta Steampunk Expo this year. So it was actually my first full cosplay made in my 20th anniversary. So I did it because 10 years previously is when I started making my original steampunk wind-up doll. I think I have pictures in here later on. The only thing is I've still got to make the wind-up key for this, but it's got a full bustle and corset, steel bone corset on it. It got a lot of compliments actually at the con, so that was pretty cool to be in a steampunk con and get a lot of compliments on it. That was pretty awesome. And then it's blue. I love blue. It's my favorite color. I mean, obviously, you'll get to see pictures of this one, but I had to put her up here because this is one of my favorite pieces ever.
Yes.
Y'all don't need to hear me. I'm just a rambling mess. I'm sorry, everybody.
You have no need to be sorry. You are wonderful.
All right. This is my Madame Red. This was the first costume I ever won an award for. I won it with a trio. I had my friends. We were from, most people know it by the English title, Black Butler. I knew it from the Japanese title, Kuroshitsuji. This is actually drafted from original Victorian patterns. They're the truly Victorian patterns. So I didn't want it because the manga and anime is kind of fantasy Victorian. So I wanted it to actually be real Victorian. So the jacket, the skirt, the overskirt is all drafted from patterns made from the originals back in the 1880s, 1890s. It took me about 75 hours to make that costume because I hand pleated every single pleat that's on there. There's about 200-300 yards of pleats on there because each pleat is 1 inch wide, but it takes 3 inches to make each pleat. And they go all the way down the apron and 3 tiers on the back and all the way around the hem of the skirt. So, yeah, there's a lot there. I wear a full traditional Victorian steel-boned corset under it, which is also from traditional Victorian patterns. The only thing I did not do on that costume was style the wig. My friend Rachel, who was my cosplay partner for 10 years, she cut and styled the wig. And then there's a bow on the hat that Mom made because she does all those floral bows and I never can get them right. So everything else on that, 100% from scratch. I had on the bustle pillow, the boots, and then I wore it in Dallas in June. Oh. And Then I wore it in Memphis in June because I hate myself. Because
Okay.
we're cosplayers. We suffer for what we do.
That
So yeah. Unfortunately, last time I had that costume on me was 2014 because it don't fit anymore. The corsets only do so much, guys. They only take so many inches off. But I mean, it got a lot of wear while I was able to fit into it, and it got a lot of love. This picture is probably one of my favorite pictures I've ever had taken of me in cosplay. The photographer took it. We were in the hotel in Dallas. He was from Seattle. And he was there because he had something with his family. And he's like, I'm going to go to the con that's there while I'm there. And he put up where people could get, do photo shoots with him. And so we took an hour-long photo shoot with the three of us. And this one, he literally laid on the floor. We were in the first floor, like technology center. And he laid down and angled his head up with his camera to get those lights behind me because they were hanging from the second or third floor.
Oh, wow.
Because everything else in that hotel looks so modern. And we were trying to make it not look as modern. And he went through some pains to get that shot, but it's still 12 years later, one of my absolute favorite pictures I've ever had taken. And he even featured it on his website for a very long time. So I was a little happy about that. That made me feel pretty special.
It's a good shot.
It's and there's a few others similar to it, but that's the best one of all of them that he took.
Really good. And Misty says this costume was your daddy's favorite.
It was. I should have put the picture of me and Dad together in the folder for it. I wore it for one of our Halloween parties, and before it was over, Dad told Mom we had to get a picture together because he wanted a picture with me in it. Yeah, Dad loved it. So yeah, it's like I said, dude, I might cry at some point, guys, because
that's allowed.
Dad never understood the whole cosplay thing, but he encouraged it. You know, he was like, I don't get why you're doing it, but you look good. Every time I would put on a costume, he's like, did you make that? I was like, yes, sir, I did. He goes, it looks good. He's like, my kids are so talented. He would always tell people how talented we were. So, you know, it's been almost 2 years since we lost him. And it still hurts a lot, but you know, we know Dad's still there. He's still watching over us because that's Dad. All right. I guess I will move to my next one. Oh, there it goes. All right. This is my original wind-up doll. It's actually all based on a song by the steampunk band Abney Park called Airdrosselmeyer's Doll. So in the song, it sounds like this is a busted up, wind-up doll who is, you know, falling apart and being repaired. So the makeup has cracks all drawn in my skin. The costume is ripped up and dirty. That was a lot of fun. I actually got to tear up a costume. The new one was supposed to be, and then I kept looking at it, and I looked at my friend Kay, who was doing the other one with me, and I was like, I can't tear these costumes up. They look so pretty. And they're like, then we'll just let them age naturally. Because I was like, the black and brown and red one, I literally was shredding that skirt because it's just layers of chiffon. I was just cutting it and just tearing it. And then I would stitch some of it back together, and I put like paint on it to look like grease and dirt. And
nice.
I had chains that hung off with like springs and wires and cogs to look like she's repairing herself all the time. So I have a wind-up key on the back that my brother Scoot made for me. And it's kind of cool because it sits under the corset and it's connected with a broom handle, like the ones that screw on. So when you put it on, it actually looks like somebody is winding you up when they put the key on at the beginning. So yeah, it screws onto my back. So it actually looks like I'm being wound up when I put it on. So the only thing that kept between the two costumes is the wig. That wig is very strange though, because the poofs are totally hollow. So it's this weird webbing. And you know how most wigs have that cut that fits around your ears. This
Right.
one doesn't. It's perfectly round. So it's really strange. But I love that wig because it looks like a doll.
Yes.
And it's got all these curls and everything. And I love it. It's just, we always joked that I was going to hide like snacks and stuff up in the wig. But yeah, it's something else. That thing is, it's quite the wig. And when I put it on in Atlanta, I looked at it and I was like, this thing's bigger than I remember it being. I had Kay and then our guest Lori from our props episode, Scissor Wizard. They were both just looking at me like, that's a big old wig. It was just so fluffy, and I love it. It was definitely one interesting one to wear for sure.
I really like it.
I love that one. All right, this I'm guessing it's saying it's. I guess when I hover over it, because I still can't see like a screen that's showing what we're seeing, because I'm used to it popping up in the middle of the screen. This was my best friend, partner in crime, Rachel. We cosplayed together for 10 years. She's like a little sister to me. She has the same age gap from me as I have from Misty. So there's an 8-year difference.
Oh.
And we had so much fun being Panty and Stocking. And our lovely musical composer for the show, Dwayne, was our garter belt. He had never watched the anime. When we said, hey, Dwayne, you want to do this costume with us? And he's like, as long as I don't have to actually grow my afro out. Yeah. Because he said he got a bee stuck in his afro when he was a kid, and he's never had an afro since. He's like, nope, traumatized.
That is very traumatizing.
I will tell you, having a guy that's about 6'4" walk around with you while you're dressed as these angels keeps a lot of creeps off of you at a con.
Smart.
So these were award-winning costumes as well, with Dwayne's also. Nice. The wings I made my wings. Rachel made hers. She did all of her accessories, the shoe detail, her wig styling. I made both of the costumes.
Oh, wow.
And I made Dwayne's. We kind of gave them our own little twist because we added extra color touches that weren't in them, because they're mostly just the white with a few little colors added to them in the anime. Mm-hmm. So we added a whole bunch of little special touches to make them our own. And then I ended up even being commissioned by 2 girls in Ireland to make them exactly like ours, because they loved the extra details that we put into them. Now the wings, we didn't make the wings because I was not shipping wings that size to Ireland. I don't think anybody was going to afford that. But the wings are super lightweight. They weigh maybe a couple of pounds tops. You can toss them around one-handed. We almost don't feel them when we have them on, because mine have a little U shape that slip down into the back of my dress and are supported by the corset boning in my dress. Mm-hmm. Rachel's, because her costume is a halter top, we had to figure out how we were going to get these wings on her without the straps around her shoulders. So I rigged up a crisscross harness that clips. So she has to put on her wings, and it crisscrosses down in between in the front of her costume. And then we put the top on and button it all up. So they actually look like they're coming out of her back. I did a tutorial for them on back on the Tumblr days, and more people were interested in the harness than the wing tutorial. They're like, we've seen a lot of wing tutorials. Please tell us how you hid that under her top.
Wow.
I think it's actually super, super simple. Maybe I'll have to make a new pair and make a video for our YouTube.
I was going to say, yes. And yeah, we have Lindell who's saying he'd love to find wings like that, but a little bigger, but as bat wings for his Jeepers Creepers. Oh, that'd be cool.
They're super simple. They're made of 9-gauge wire, chicken wire, a lot of felt and hot glue, and then the feathers. So you could probably apply the same thing to making bat wings and just shape them and cover them in like leathery fabric instead.
Ooh. And Lindell also said, this was a few pictures back. I think this was your wind-up doll. He said, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Thank you. I actually have
I
have a piece of artwork that I had commissioned of my original wind-up doll. It hangs in the hallway now. It's finally out of my bedroom and in the hallway right as you come out of the den. Yeah. hopefully commissioning him for another piece soon of my Queen of Hearts, because Jonathan is an amazing artist.
And he said they look great, meaning these wings.
Thank you. Yeah, mine unfortunately were victims of the fire. So I'll just have to make a new pair. Stocking currently does not fit either, so maybe it's time for a new one. That's what was happening. It's just telling me it's time for a new one.
That's
here we go. Next. Show. There we go. Oh, show. Go back there. Sorry, I'm doing this in gloves, everybody. Agent Carter.
If you want.
Oh, you're good. Oh, I can't see them because I'm used to our little split screen when I'm not doing the admin stuff. So I haven't seen this screen before. It's
yeah.
It's a little confusing. So, but Agent Carter, I was not going to do this costume originally. And my friend Kay kept telling me, you should do Agent Carter. You would pull off an awesome Peggy Carter. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like living up to Haley Atwell is it's a tall order. And I was like, okay, if I find the right color blue for the suit, I'll do it. And I found it. So I had to do it.
And you nailed it.
I love it. The character is one that when she was introduced into the MCU, she's so minor in the comics. She's like in one comic way back in the day. But the character was something that I fell in love with. The personality, the who she is. She is a woman, a feminist in a time when women were told to sit down and shut up and let the men do the talking. And she didn't. And I loved that. And it's stuck with me now, even all the way through, being Captain Carter now, because I just adore the feminism of that character. She was a badass, but she was still feminine and beautiful and still wore her heels and her dresses, but she's like, I can hold up my own with the boys any day of the week. And that's one of the things that just stuck with me about that character. Like, I love in the show when the Howling Commandos are with them and everybody's looking at them and they're like, don't look at us. She fought with Cap more than any of us. They're like, as they said, do as Peggy says. So you always do as Peggy says. So yeah, I love that one. Get to kind of wear a little fun little hat and everything. I loved wearing that costume so much.
I love this.
Yeah.
Lindell says, best part of being a cosplayer is always rebuilding to make it better. Yes.
Yeah. Other than some of them that I have put so much time into, I'm like, do I want to make that attempt to do another one? It's a lot. There are a few on the repair list or remake list at some point, because I'm thinking I made them over 10 years ago. What could I do now with another decade's worth of sewing and crafting knowledge? But at the same time, I'm like, I have that nostalgia for what I made. So it's weird. And my anxiety goes, no, if you try it again, it's not going to work. So I have to fight the demons in the brain sometimes. So
jerk sometimes.
Yeah, my own your own brain.
Hi, Sierra.
Sierra, one of my favorite people. Sierra knows we all love her here.
Very, very much.
All right, next guy. We're still in the me dressed as a girl. There, we'll get to me dressed as a guy in a minute. I made a hot dude, okay?
Yeah, you do.
This is another award-winning costume. I wore it with one that you'll see of Rachel's in a minute. It's Yuko from XXX Holic by Clamp. I adore the Clamp manga art. They make some of the most elaborate, crazy designs, and then cosplayers go, all right, challenge accepted. So this one is deceptively, it looks lightweight, but this dress is actually really heavy because it's a layer of chiffon, then a layer of lining, and then another layer of lining, and then another.
Oh my
because God. When I did it with the blue just over the teal lining, it was still so thin and so sheer. So I put a layer of black in, but I'm like, I want the teal to be seen in the split. So there we go with another layer. The sleeves are only just the chiffon and the teal lining. But I came up with a color scheme for this because it's from a black and white piece. And it stops at about her knees in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make up the colors and what the bottom of the dress looked like. And I was like, well, let's add a split on top of it because Yuko is fabulous and wears high splits and fishnet stockings. And so I was like, it's a mermaid dress with a split. Because why not? And there's the wig, if I let that wig down, it hits about my knees. So it is an extremely heavy wig.
Oh my God.
And it's got chains and beads all in it. And then there's a comb with peacock feathers, and all the feather detailing on it is hand painted. I made all the jewelry for it. I wore about 4-inch stiletto heels because Yuko's either barefoot or in stilettos. She's one extreme or the other because she's just that fabulous. Unfortunately, I'm not a time witch who probably doesn't have sore feet at the end of the day. But that photo shoot, I did a photo shoot with this photographer and then also the one that did my Madame Red pictures. And it's like, it was so weird to see the two different takes of through the lens, what different photographers would do. This was all outdoors and natural lighting. The other one was all indoors with like pop-up lights and everything. And they were both amazing. But going to this photo shoot, I remember some guys walking past because Yuko wears a lot of very low cut tops. And they look down my top and they go, they're just messing around too early in the morning. And I turned and said, and you're not getting any either. And just kept on going. I'm like, guys think at cons, they're just allowed to say whatever they want. And sorry, it's not going to happen, bro. I was like, I've got a photo shoot to get to. Get out of my way. I was like, I'm not dealing with these weird dudes and, on a hot morning in Texas. I'm not. A lot of my costumes were done at A-Kon because we used to go to A-Kon every year because they started out, they had a lot of the Japanese bands we were into. And they were like, well, we can all go to the con. I think we took like 14 of us one year between 2 hotel rooms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're broke. You put a whole bunch of people in one hotel room.
What happens when you're broke and do anything where conventions, like not just comic conventions, like a political convention or like an academic convention, any of that is your job too. I think the most people we ever got in one hotel room was 11. Whew. And I was the only girl. So I was just like, from these hours to these hours, all of you out. Like at one point, because I had been changing like really quickly in the bathroom. Yeah. And then I was just like, I need to take like a real shower and like
not worry about anything.
Like just get out. I drove the rental car for several of those people, the rental van for several of those people. So if they wanted to get home, they had to listen.
Okay, so now the saying is now do as Crayley says instead of do as Peggy says. That's the new one.
Similar energy.
I mean, yeah, both a couple of badass ladies, so all right. And this is my Yuki Onna, which is the Japanese term for the snow woman. 1 year A-Kon's theme was yokai, the Japanese demons. And so we decided to design kind of modern but traditional. So I did the Yuki Onna, Rachel was the kitsune, the fox, and then Kay was the tengu, the crow demon. And so the kitsune was a little Lolita with her little fluffy tail and long white wig and had the big kimono sleeves. And then the tengu, we did like one wing was all ripped up to look like it had been in a fight. And then she had the other regular wing and like the kind of obi, but the kimono with off one's shoulder and everything. It was a lot of fun. And then I look up and my friend who has horrible vision is climbing a fixture at the convention. And I'm like, you're going to die. And I'm going to have to tell your mom that I let you fall from this thing onto the concrete. I was like, yeah, I'm not
doing what she loved.
Yeah. But this picture is actually taken at the Memphis Botanic Gardens because we have a Japanese garden here. And Anime Blues used to do their Winterfest remix at the Botanic Gardens. And so I was like, okay, it's winter. My Yuki Onna. but it's a white strapless dress with a sheer sparkly kimono top that has cherry blossoms and glitter on it.
Ooh.
And then it's a corset, but it has the full Maiko obi drape on the back. So it drapes down almost to the ground, and that's in the blue sheer with the cherry blossoms on it. So like it's going to be kind of cold. I found that silver brocade and the faux fur, and I made just this big, heavy over kimono and wore it over it. So kind of like how they have the kimono that are like coats, that's what I did with it. And it has a train on the back. And I actually have geisha flutters that I wear in my hair, the silver flutters that are traditional geisha hair pieces. And then the white and blue wig. I loved that one. Yeah, another one doesn't fit. But currently it's in someone else's possession. They borrowed it for a theater production. Weirdly, my Yuki-onna got used for the witch in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh.
So yeah, it was actually borrowed by one of the directors I had worked with on youth productions. They were doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. She goes, "We have a white dress, but it's not enough. And I saw this picture of your costume. If I'm careful with it, will you let me borrow it?" And I'm like, "I know you'll be fine with it. I know the person you're putting it on, they'll be fine with it." And it's kind of good that she hadn't given it back to me because I gave it to her right before the fire, and it probably would have ended up in the room where the fire started. So this one was saved from melting because it was in someone else's possession.
That's good.
So I love it. You just kind of feel really fancy and regal in it because it's just all satins and chiffons. Oh, it's heavy, but I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now we get to see me being a dude.
Nice.
That's once again me and Rachel. She cosplayed Lena Lee from The Gray Man first. I made her costume, and I was like, "These costumes are really cool looking. I want to read the manga. Let me see what it's about." Because I was like, Lavi looks really cool. He has a giant hammer. What's not to love? And then the next year, I made my costume to match. And so I got to be a dude with my giant scarf and my big hammer. And I just felt really cool in that costume. I wore an eye patch. I have this thing. I've worn a lot of eye patches and hip scarves.
Yes.
I'm waiting for a superhero with a hip scarf and an eye patch to come along for me. Maybe I need to make one up. But I love this. The fun part about my hammer, my oldest brother Bear made it. And to make it travelable, the handle is actually all Swiffer handles, so we can connect them and pop them loose. So it collapses down.
Oh my gosh.
It all collapses down because he had one of them that at one point, I don't know why you needed a special edition Swiffer, but it was red and black. I mean, seriously, it was a special edition Swiffer. I know.
That's a thing.
But it's a thing. And he had one in his house, and we're like looking at it and we're like, that's perfect. Because all he did was saw off the little loop at the end of the Swiffer, because his hammer has kind of like that little rounded point at the end that looks kind of like a counterweight. And so that's how it went together.
That's hilarious.
So I loved these costumes. They were so much fun to wear. There was a lot of figuring out because his pants have some crazy detail happening. And I had to figure out, okay, lay this strap now, and then this one, and then this one to stitch it all down. But in the end, I absolutely loved how these turned out. And that scarf was really fun to wear, that big. And it was made of flannel. So it just stood up on its own. No interfacing had to be put in it. It was just really nice. It was, once again, I wore a lot of these costumes in the summer, though.
Of course. And that's how it always works out.
It's fully lined. There was a chest binder under it to be a guy with a tank top on top of that.
Oh,
so,
I'm sweating just thinking about that.
I'm sweating right now. There's a fan on me over here on the side. Hopefully you can't hear it in my mic.
Nope.
All right. These were when I first started kind of going bigger with my sewing work. It's another clamp design, but from Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle. This was made in 2009. Yeah, 2009. And there's a picture of the two characters, Fi and then Sakura Hime. It's just one of the little splash pages before a chapter in the manga. Rachel and I fell in love with the costumes.
Mhm.
No pictures of the back whatsoever. So we had to make it up. So my jacket actually has lacing down the back. It's fully lined in white satin because, again, I'm torturing myself. The
Always.
fabric has this really cool stripe texture into it. So it's black on black, but it's a stripe texture. And then to tie our costumes together, the little ribbon that ties back my ponytail matches the ribbons in her corset.
Ooh.
So
nice.
the one she has on, she made her little crown and did all of her wig styling. She did all of the wigs for a long time. She was wearing this with the Yuko that I did. We wore those and won the best master at Anime Blues one year.
Ooh.
So she was with me for almost every award I've won but one. So we used to enter together all the time before she up and moved to Japan on me. So
darn her.
I give her mess about it, but she's happy. She's married to a Japanese man. I miss my cosplay partner in crime, but I'm happy for her anyway, even if I give her mess for it all the time.
Crayley, if you move to Japan on me, I will never forgive you.
No, I could never even consider it. We are so codependent at this point. We have a 1 hour time difference between Indiana and Wisconsin. We keep calling each other in one of the middle of the other one's night, being like, I don't care that you need sleep, I miss you.
Yep.
That sounds about right. And here's my Thor. I can't take credit for the best parts of this. Dwayne and my brother Bear did the armor and the hammer. I did the sewing. The helmet is actually here on my mantle. But Dwayne wants to remake my armor anyway. It got kind of messed up in my fire. The fabric parts are completely gone. So I got to remake them. I was originally like, I could remake this in time for Love and Thunder. I am not sitting in a theater for 3 hours in that. I could barely sit in it, much less for 3 hours. So, but it was really cool. That first time I wore it was at a superhero day at one of the children's hospitals here. So handy little kids Mjolnir to ask them if they want to see if they're worthy. Best thing ever. Because when they can hold Mjolnir and they're like, they just light up. And then Spider-Man walks by and he can't lift it. That makes a little kid's day. Like Spidey's not worthy, but you are. So
Johnny is right. Johnny says you've got new cosplay partners. He's absolutely right. You've got me.
I do. Oh no, I collect cosplay friends, and you two have definitely become them. My cosplay Memphis friends. I tell Rachel when she comes back to the States sometime we're gonna have to cosplay together again, but I collect cosplay friends. I like making cosplay groups. I'm like, come on, let's all do a group of this thing together. Because it's more fun in a group. It really is. Like, as much as I love standing out in a solo costume, doing it with a bunch of friends and having like a theme is really just so much fun.
Agreed.
It is the best. And this is my newest costume.
Yes.
My Captain Carter.
Pretty.
Oh, I saw it in What If, and I was like, okay, I could do the original one, or I could do the stealth suit. Everybody's been doing the red, white, and blue one, so we're going to do the stealth suit.
I love this. This is the only one I've seen.
Yeah, in person, other than me going, here's pieces of this one from my closet as we're doing 8,000 things in a couple of days here.
Oh, no, I mean, this is the only stealth suit version of it that I've seen.
Oh, yeah. I've seen one other person. When I first started posting my progress of it on Instagram, I checked the tag just to see if anybody else was using it, and I've seen one other person do it. So far.
Sierra's right. Sierra says your Captain Carter is gorgeous in person. All caps because damn straight.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I've done a few little tweaks on it since you guys saw it. I added a little piece at the back because it was coming untucked a little bit. So I fixed that. I added the cargo pockets. It now has pockets.
It has pockets.
It has pockets. Because when I rewatched What If, I was like, she's got the pockets that Cap has on his stealth suit, so we're getting pockets. Because the original pockets I built into it, I had to cut them down to put the waistband on, so I could get like my fingers in like that much. So it's not much I can do. But no, I feel like a badass in this costume. And my shield, made by my friend Jeremy, he knocked it out of the park with that shield. And it is metal, so it's a little heavy, but it's worth it. You know, you get to be Captain Carter for a little while. You can carry a metal shield around.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep going because I just realized we're already almost at an hour.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. Hey, look, it's a phoenix to go with my other lovely phoenix sisters.
Aww.
I loved blinding people in this costume so much. It's a really twisted satisfaction I got out of it, but I love wearing this one because it was so shiny. And Chris Claremont approved of my costume. He stopped his autograph line for me and Holly. So I'm like, he signed the phoenix that goes on the hip scarf that is in my cosplay box, being protected at all costs, because the man that wrote the story approved of it. So
this is the costume that made me want to be friends with Andrea. Like I think our only mutual friend at the time was Robin Burks, and you kept popping up in my people you may know, and I was like, I don't want to be weird and add her just because of like a phoenix suit, but like so many times I almost added you and just to message you and be like, I love your phoenix suit so much. And then Kelly was like, have you heard of Andrea Starnes? I really want her to work with us. And I was like, I want to be friends with her so bad.
That's okay. That's very flattering, guys. It makes me feel so special. Aww. So I loved being Phoenix. I'm not a big Jean Grey fan, but I love the Phoenix.
Same.
So yeah, I'm like, Jean Grey's just kind of, she's Jean Grey. The Phoenix, though.
Phoenix is amazing.
The Phoenix. Let's see. Let's keep going because I have a lot of stuff, guys. This isn't even all of it. These were the last time Rachel and I cosplayed together in 2014 at Anime Weekend Atlanta. They were competition costumes. He is back here right now. I have not had this costume on since this day. We've worn them once. But they're from a Korean manhwa called Bride of the Water God. I was the water god. She was my bride. So it was another one of those, it's just a single picture. And we took it and I used different textured fabrics instead of the solid colors they had in the picture, and wanted to add, a little bit of flair to them. Like, this is a god. This is a character that is, going to be grand and over the top. And when we told the judges why we picked all the little extra details, that was one of the reasons they gave us the Best in Show manga division at Anime Weekend Atlanta.
I love that.
Excuse me. That's huge. That con is full of competition. It is insane. And we're like looking at all the competition, and we're both like, we're pretty proud of these. These look amazing, but look at what's around us.
That's awesome.
And when they announced that we had won, the guy that we had become friends with in line, he's like, hey, that's y'all. You just won. Go up there. We're both like, oh. Because it's just, we were so genuinely shocked. Like, we were super excited about the costumes. We were like, either way, we're really proud of how they looked. And this was our last time going to a con together before Rachel moved. So it was kind of our last hurrah is what we were jokingly calling it. But I mean, we were in them for a good 13 hours. We put them on that morning for judging, and we did not take them off because the contest ran late, because the concert before it ran late. So the contest was supposed to start at like 8 or something, and it didn't start till nearly 10. And so we thought, Mom and I,
costume contests usually are like,
yeah. And Mom and I, because that same weekend was my grandfather's 95th birthday. And so they lived in Atlanta, and we went to see them while in full costume.
Aww.
And we were so worried Rachel was going to snap her neck in the car because she's sitting in the back seat with that giant headdress on with this costume. And we just kept seeing, she kept nodding off and falling asleep. And I'm just like, oh God, she's gonna break her neck.
Oh my God.
No. And then we got there, she's like, oh. She's like,
Yeah,
like nothing happened.
Sarah do need
Rachel
to
is
together.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel is all of like 5 feet tall and about 110 pounds. So she's itty bitty. So I'm just like, this giant headdress is just going to kill her at some point. But I was so proud of these costumes. We put so much work into them, and they were I'm glad they were the last time I competed with her, because they were a good, exclamation point on our 10 years cosplaying together, I think.
Yes.
This guy right here is
Yes.
a pride and joy. This costume took me 300 hours to hand bead alone. Just the beading. There's beading underneath the corset on the dress, on the back of the dress, that you can't see when I have the cape on. The cape has a full lace cape underneath it. It trails a good 4 feet on the floor behind me. I hand cut all the bias edging that's on it, and I did all the applique work. I drafted part of the dress that's underneath, hand beaded the lace, the corset, the dress, the cape. My brother Bear made the cross staff for me, but the rosaries hanging on it, the rosaries are actually my own personal rosaries, because my family is Catholic, and the blue rosary hanging off of it was my great grandmother's that I was named after. Her name was Kathleen. That's my middle name. And the white rosary was one that Misty and Mom brought me back from Denver when Pope John Paul II was in the U.S. in '93. So I've had that one for almost 30 years. So I put those on there as a little extra touch, because Trinity Blood is a comic set or a manga set far in the future, but she is a Catholic cardinal. She's Cardinal Caterina Sforza. So in their story, women now can be priests and bishops and cardinals. And so the only thing I didn't do, she wears this really big, stupid hat, and I hate the hat. So I didn't make the big, stupid hat.
Fair.
But that one, a lot of people get surprised when I tell them it has been put in competition and never won anything. So, but it's been up against some pretty tough stuff. So I still love it. I want to fit back into it at some point, because I loved wearing this costume, and it needs some more wear considering how much work I put into it.
It's gorgeous.
I think I've worn it about 3 or 4 times.
Okay, it needs more wear.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a bunch. Y'all have seen some of these on the show.
Yeah.
My Queen of Hearts. She's become one I'm very known for. Then Merida I had on our last episode. And I've worn, y'all saw Aurora. She was back here last time. And then the Briar Rose, I wore that on our props episode, because I had my basket and my little owl. And then my Snow White. That's one of my 2 Snow White costumes. I've worn the other one on our other Disney episode, but that one still needs the collar and the cape. But I literally threw that one together in a couple of days for a volunteer event. So yeah, I've been a Disney fan my whole life. So getting to cosplay Disney characters has been pretty cool.
Angel says Queen of Hearts is her favorite of yours.
Well, Angel's my white rabbit. When I'm the Queen of Hearts, she keeps me from taking anyone's head during any events. So she keeps me in line. So
and before we do the guest submissions, we have to do the dance.
Do the dance.
The catwalk.
The dance.
Do your dance. Do your dance. Do
you want to go first?
Sure. Oh, let me show you this costume that I made in 9 hours, because I was using it as a coping mechanism.
So impressive. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy for my cosplay.
Hold on, can we see? There, it's got the boots built in. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. They're wedges, because our Captain America is 6'5" that I was standing next to, and I'm only 5'3". Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Too sexy for my cosplay. Sexy cosplay.
Yes.
I'm too
It keeps
tired to
it's trying to make you a little sexier with the zipper there.
Yeah, the zipper doesn't want to stay up.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
I can tell you this. Yes, you should go next, Crazy.
I'm too sexy for my cosplay. Too sexy for my cosplay.
For
So
her
sexy
Wonder Woman jet.
you didn't see me.
It was so sexy we couldn't show you guys on camera. We would probably be censored.
Well,
what
here are
happened.
Curly's cosplays.
Yes.
Yeah, we had people submit costumes they're proud of, and since I couldn't be here in costume at the last minute, I put a bunch of collages together.
Go for it, because you should be proud of these. You look amazing.
Yeah, the Misa down there in the bottom middle from Death Note, I sat in the snow for the last several photos, and it was so cold and wet and horrible. But like, I wanted the contrast of all her like black leather.
The things we do for cosplay, guys.
And it looked so good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Kelly snuck her way into 2 of these somehow.
Imagine that.
She's just always sneaking in there somehow, you know, the Phoenix sisters over there.
Sneaky like that.
This top left one is my Sarah Connor that I put together completely out of my closet, except for the AK, which we keep, you know, in an actual safe, like a locked.
Because I was like, this was my idea. I'm taking credit. Because I was like, you know what? We need more action movies. Then I was like, you need to put together a Sarah Connor. And then you were like, yep.
And then I did it that day.
And then you did it.
And you rocked it. Like, your Sarah Connor's amazing.
I have aviators now, so like, it finally gets. The only thing that I have that's not screen accurate now is I'm not going to smoke an actual cigarette for the.
Oh, I mean, that's right. Remind me that I have some fake, realistic looking fake cigarettes to give you, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, we can do without that much accuracy. This kid right here, y'all. There's several pictures of her. She is a local Memphis cosplayer. She's not even a teenager yet. I am in awe of the work because she, with her mom, makes her costumes.
Wow.
This kid is amazing. Now, the next one you'll show, her katana.
Rain sideshow.
Yes, please. I will tag them all their pictures when we post them. But this katana was the first one I ever saw at Memphis Comic Expo in 2018 because we were in the contest together. She won the kids division because, I mean, obviously, look at her. It's insane. I judged the next one of hers, the Five Nights at Freddy's. That's right there.
Oh my god!
Insane.
That's crazy.
This kid, every time I see her, I'm like, I'm about to retire because you're going to take over. Look at you. Look at you. You are insanely talented. And Robin, Sierra, and I judged this one this past year at Memphis Comic and Fantasy. And of course, she definitely won an award for that.
Else go home.
She's such a sweet kid too. Oh my goodness. I love her. This is actually one of my former theater students, Maddie. When she sent this to us, she's like, this is what I'm very proud of. Her family always does a theme for Halloween because there's a bunch of siblings. And this was one of their Nightmare Before Christmas one. And I think she did such a fabulous job on Sally.
That makeup has got to be hard.
She's fantastic.
03 and she looks fabulous.
Okay, I'm trying to see these are Sierra. Okay, that's our lovely quartz kitty.
We love you, Sierra. You look so good.
She should be proud of so many of these costumes. They are amazing.
All right, and this is Ms. Marvelous. So she is Ms. Marvelous. She is someone you all should follow. She basically has been talking on her Instagram about wanting to highlight people, and so she was asking for volunteers to be highlighted in the story. I was like, oh yeah, you can highlight some of my pictures, but send me some of your pictures because you're amazing. Like, look at her wash.
She's so good.
Yeah,
so good. I mean, marvelous is a perfect description.
Mm-hmm. Marvelous is. She's also really sweet, and she's really like embodies what we're trying to do on this show, where she really lifts up other cosplayers. Yeah,
you have to love the other people that want to just keep boosting each other. They're like, I could keep posting my pictures all day, but I could share other people too. That's the core focus This is our lovely friend Angel with so many that she's done. Angel is fantastic. You know I love you, Angel.
Great. I love them.
I'll see her tomorrow. And another friend of the show.
This is Fred. And
Mr. Space Pope.
Fred is Space Pope Costuming on Facebook. I don't believe he has an Instagram yet.
We need one, Fred. Just saying. This Captain America Nashville. I met him dressed as Peggy Carter in 2015? 16? I can't remember. It was at Memphis Comic and Fantasy Con. And I made the joke. I've been looking for a really good Captain America to take pictures with for a while. And he, not missing a beat, goes, I've been looking for a good Peggy Carter for 75 years. I'm like,
smooth.
You, sir, this is why your wife married you. But he is Captain America. He sent us some other characters too, but he is Captain America, and I love it.
So Fred says no Instagram, and he said he thought we were only sending in one photo, and oh well, he's proud of this one because it's the first time he really worked with Craft Foam for a costume. Fred, okay, that's amazing. Like
it is. I mean, it looks freaking fantastic, sir.
Everything Fred does is amazing, and yeah, we need to show off more of his stuff. Like,
yeah, if you can see more of it if you go back to our episode from the Multiverse Fundraiser, Cosplay on a Budget, when we talked to him there,
which is on this channel.
Yes.
All right.
These are.
So this is my friend Becky, who is
Love
just
her.
so talented, and
she's a fellow Peggy and Jane. So
she's like your cosplay twin, I swear, and Rogue.
Yeah, and Rogue. She just does a different version than I do. So.
Yeah, so Becky is amazing.
I had to break her up into two. So.
Oh, good. So
there's more. There she is. There's the rest of them.
Yeah,
I put all of her comic ones together, and then like her Star Wars and other stuff together.
It.
So
I specifically sent her a Facebook message. I was like, "Girl, I know you have a lot to be proud of, so you need to send me pictures." Because I'm kind of relentless like that. If you're a cosplay friend of mine and I haven't tagged you or gone after you for pictures yet, it's coming. I will.
So you might as well just start submitting them before she comes at you for them. So.
I will find you and I will make you send me your pictures, or I will just steal them. No, I won't steal them from your Facebook because
we will ask for permission before we share them. We might steal them and then go, "Can I share these?"
Yeah.
Kelly, you just remind me of that favorite Sailor Moon meme of mine that is Sailor Venus with her finger wag up in the air that says, "You will be loved and valued. This is a threat."
Yes.
I feel that.
That's what we're here for.
Yes. That is okay. And this is our lovely Kayla. We love Kayla.
We do love Kayla.
So this is her Nat, the white suit. And then this is so many.
Mostly like her literary cosplay, mostly.
Yes. Her literary cosplay is fire. Like,
I told her one day she and I are going to do some literary cosplay together. So, because I haven't done a whole lot.
She's planning some with Creely and me. So Creely's coming to visit this week, and it's not happening this week, but like next visit it's happening. And we're so ready.
That's gonna be amazing.
So we are over time. So Andrea, what are your parting words, your advice for cosplayers?
We say it a lot, but just do it. Don't be scared. My anxiety has kept me from some things in the past. But this community is full of more kind people than the toxic people. It's just the toxic ones are louder. I have seen it. I have experienced it. I have been the person that got literally shunned by the entire city main cosplay community for a while. But I found the right people and have learned now that there's actually a lot of people that really do want to get to know me, but I'm like, y'all, I'm just a big nerd. Just talk to me. I'm probably just as anxious and shy about meeting people as you are. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Most of us will gladly give you any advice we can. the resources are insane compared to 20 years ago. Back when we started, there were no tutorials out. There were no cosplay fabrics. Like now you can go in the store and people know the word cosplay. So you can find good fabrics, the good materials to use. You didn't have to source them from overseas and wait for them to come in. You know, I called it costuming for a long time because nobody knew the word cosplay, and now it's a household word. So it's to the point now at work, you know, they call me Annie at work because that's my nickname. And whenever somebody mentions the word cosplay, they go, well, have you met Annie yet? And so it's, I mean, I love it. It's worth giving it a shot. You might fall in love with it and 20 years later be doing it like I am and hoping for at least another 20 more. Or you might just go, but you gave it a try. Give it a try. Have fun with it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I said, one of my biggest fears was Storm is my favorite character. I wanted to cosplay her. I wanted to be Storm since I was about 9 years old.
Oh.
But because of the toxicity I had seen, and it's funny because it's not cosplayers of color coming at white cosplayers. It's other white people going, why are you cosplaying that character of color? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I've had a lot of support from people in, especially the Black cosplay community, going, girl, as long as you don't darken your skin or do any kind of appropriation, do it. We know you love the character. We know you won't mistreat the character. As long as you don't do anything that comes across as rude or appropriation, have fun with it. And if you're worried, ask someone. That's what it boils down to. Just ask someone. And like I said, don't be afraid to talk to us. Most of us are just big old nerds playing dress up. That's what we are with it. That's what it boils down to. Bunch of nerds playing dress up out in public, not just at home.
If you need advice or you need encouragement or anything, again, we've got this link tree here, Cosplay Cafe Podcast.
Come to any one of us.
Get in touch with us. We're here for you.
I'm going to try to start making more tutorials, like video tutorials and stuff to put on our YouTube so people can see how I do certain things. I might have to put music over it and maybe a voiceover because there's a lot of profanity when I sew. And it's usually yelling at the cats to move as well. So, but, you know, if you have a question, one of the three of us will be glad to answer it. And if one of us doesn't know, we'll go to the others. And if the others don't know, we'll find somebody that does. Because that's what we do.
Aw, Fred. Fred says you're amazing. Thanks for sharing your costumes with us and can't wait to see what you create in the future.
Yeah, me either.
So, best.
I've got a lot of plans.
Meet him at some point.
Yeah, I want to meet Fred. Fred, I've met you in video form. I'd like to meet you in person sometime. Yeah, no, I've got a couple of plans. Storm is actually in the plans for Memphis Comic Expo, so
I can't
maybe to judge the cosplay contest in. So it's really cool. I got my first mention as a cosplay guest at Memphis Comic Expo. I'm like, 20 years I've been
really exciting.
You know, I've wanted to be, but I'm so apprehensive to approach cons because my anxiety goes, they don't really want you there. No, you're not what they're looking for. I know I don't fit the cosplay girl standard, but you know, I'm really excited that they approached me about coming back and running their contest again this year and being a guest and getting to have my art table with my friend and be there to support my brothers doing their art. And Crayleigh's going to be there to visit. And Robin will be there. So it's going to be a little bit of a family reunion.
That is going to be so exciting. When is that?
Yes. September 24th and 25th here in Memphis.
So exciting.
I will be there with my Pokeballs, by the way.
Yes.
Quick promo at Pokeballs by Crayleigh on Facebook and Instagram.
You want them. They're amazing in person. Scoot loves his Raichu Pokeball that he got. So, yeah, we're going to have a good time here. And so hopefully if you can come to Memphis, it is my favorite local con. We even have pretty big comic names like Greg Capullo is going to be there this year. Chris Claremont has been there in the past. Donnie Cates has been there. I'm really bummed that they didn't get Mark Bagley and Talent Caldwell again for this one because Mark Bagley, I mean, come on. Who draws Venom like Mark Bagley? And then Talent Caldwell, I met him when he first started working for Top Cow almost 20 years ago. He probably would not be too thrilled. David Finch wasn't thrilled when I reminded him that it had been a long time since he started working in comics, and I had met him in 2001. He was a little like, he says, neither of us are old enough for that to have happened.
Nope. All right, so let's wind up, and then we're gonna play your video again to see us out. Mm-hmm. So Andrea,
so y'all, if you didn't get enough of those costumes that are behind me and the pictures you listen to me ramble about for an hour, they're gonna show you a few more.
So Andrea, where can people find you?
Mostly Media Rice on Instagram, or I help run the Cosplay Cafe Instagram as well. I need to get a little caught up, but I'm getting there.
All right, and then
you guys,
of course, linktree.com/PhoenixsCosplay has everything, including the Cosplay Cafe podcast links and links to our new websites, which Crayley designed, and they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Yep, I have a link tree, but it's mostly to this Instagram, the Facebook, the Cosplay Cafe stuff. So,
which is helpful.
Yeah,
it's there in my bio on the Media Rise cosplay page, so you're good.
So I'm gonna play Andrea's video one last time.
Bye everyone.
Bye everyone. Everyone have a good night. Here's Andrea to see us out. I hope you all have a great weekend.
Y'all got to listen to me